What's goody, guys? So I'm gonna go over exactly how I plan every single workout with clients, with myself. This exact video is the template of how I get from point A to point B with any single person. All right, it is literally a perfect workout blueprint. All right, so if you are someone that has no direction in the gym, you don't know what to do when you walk into the gym, you feel like you're always lost, you're always staring in the abyss, you're always on TikTok looking at what to do, this video is for you. This is the best scientific-based method that I've found over trial and error, over years of studying, over years of applying it to other people. This works well for everyone, all right? So in this picture right here, I'm about 245 pounds, I'm fat, I'm obese, I'm getting high every day. I had no direction in the gym. I had no idea what to do. I would just show up, hit calf raises on leg press, and bicep curls, and then I was done. I felt fulfilled. But over time, it left a void in my heart. And in this picture right here, I'm about 190 pounds, full of muscle. I actually followed this workout template to a T every single day, and it kept me full of muscle, it kept me mobile, it kept me the best performance I could possibly be. So if you guys want to learn how I actually did this, watch this quick video. All right. So before we move on, I want you guys to ask this very important question. You can pause the video, you can keep going, but I want you to ask this question: are you getting the most out of your workouts? All right. The reason I ask this is because a lot of people have no idea how to structure a workout. I'll see when I walk in the gym, a lot of people are just doing a foam roller as their warm up, or they're putting on 45 pounds on each side of the bench press and they're just repping that out until they feel warm, right? No, that's why all of you guys feel just like your 50-year-old mom and dad. You guys' back hurts, your shoulder's always aching, and then you complain about it later on and then stop actually walking towards your goals. This template is going to keep you from doing all of those things, all right? You're not going to be going on TikTok looking for the best bicep exercise. You're not going to look up the best push-pull legs. You're not going to look up a Jeff Nippard video. This exact template can get you to avoid all of those things. So I'm going to break down exactly how to plan your workout step by step so you stop wasting time and actually make progress. So there's going to be 6 key steps in this pillar. One of them are kind of optional. You can do it every day, but if you're on a time crunch, it's okay to skip it. But it's going to add definitely an extra level of authentication, all right? So there's 6 steps. It's going to be ETM, or endurance training machine. You don't have to have an ETM, but you could use your body or a jump rope, whatever the case may be. You're just trying to get your core temperature warm. And then 2 through 6 is going to be mobility, activation, strength, accessories, and core and cardio. All right, so let's go ahead and explain every single one so you guys can plan the best exercises or workouts going forward. All right, so an ETM is just an endurance training machine, like a rower, an erg, or a bike. You could use a skier, you can use a treadmill, whatever the case may be. Those are all endurance training machines. But you could also just jog or use a jump rope. All right, but the purpose of it is to raise your heart rate. It's to get your blood flowing. It's to loosen up adhesions. You don't want any blockages in your shoulders to ache you later on. It's good to have your blood flowing, all right? If it had a river and there was a rock in the middle of the river's not going to flow properly, all right? It's going to just break into two. But if I remove that rock, the water flows in the right direction. It's the same with your body, all right? But the mobility and the activation will handle most of this. The ETM is just an extra precaution for like any older individuals or the people that feel like they sit all day and they always are in pain. This is just going to help you. So it's that extra layer of authentication I talked about earlier, all right? So you can do 3 to 7 minutes. It's plenty. You can even go up to 10, but you don't want to have anything too intense. But the idea is just to actually just get your heart rate up. Once you feel your heart rate is up a little bit, or you feel warm, you're good to go and you can move on to the next step. All right, so this is a key, right? This is a non-negotiable to every single person that is watching this video, that is doing this programming, and that is the mobility. All right, so inside mobility, you want to target the muscles you'll train that day, and you want to move them through their full range of motion. All right, so if you sit all day at work and you constantly have tight hips, or your lower back is aching and you just go into the gym and foam roll, it's a temporary fix. It's not going to long-term fix your issues, all right? But when you do mobility, it is a long-term fix. It is a long-term fix to your hips, your lower back pain, or your shoulder pain that you usually get. Because you're opening up the small muscle knots in your shoulders, the small muscle knots in your lower back or your glutes, whatever the case may be. You are fixing those. The foam roller is a temporary fix. It temporarily opens that up. Mobility does it long-term. So it's also going to benefit your body outside the gym. All right, so you want to focus on dynamic stretching. You don't want to have any static/long holds here, because we don't want to do that before we lift. But examples are cat-cow, which is right here, world's greatest stretch, which is the second picture, but scorpions, thoracic rotations, thread the needle, 90-90 good mornings. There's so many that you can add to your repertoire, but for any of these sections, you just go on YouTube and build your own programming based off what your needs are, all right? But the main key is you want to target the muscles you're going to work that day. So if you're going to go do lower body, I suggest you mobilize your glutes, your spine, your thoracic spine, maybe your hamstrings, right? Depending if you have a little bit more tighter hamstrings than some individuals. But the key is to open it up long term. We don't want to just spam the foam roller all the time, but sometimes it works. So another key step that I really want no one to skip is activation. All right. So like I brought up earlier, some people go into the bench press and they spam put 45s on each side and they'll just spam a bench press, or they'll hit a quad extension and they spam out their quads until they're exhausted. That's not always going to work because some people have complications in their quads or in their shoulders or in their pecs that hold them back from feeling proper. All right. So the goal for activating is you want to turn the muscle on before loading it. Think of it like flipping a light switch. All right. Or it's like hibernation. All right. When you go into the gym, your body is literally dark. There is no light in it, if you will, if we're going to use a light switch as an example, all right? So we want to turn that light switch on, and we want to turn our muscles on so they're actually properly moving and working the rest of the day. So if I'm going to do a push day, right? Chest, triceps, shoulders. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to activate my pec. I'm going to activate my front delt. I'm going to activate all the little muscle stabilizing muscles that are going to push me forward to having a good workout, all right? Because now if I don't do that, I might end up having that shoulder pain that I usually have. I might end up having that lower back pain if I was doing a leg day, right? But now you are kind of activating those muscles to better support your body, all right? So same thing as the mobility. You want to pick movements that engage your main working muscle. So I already used the example. Let's use legs as an example. If I'm going to go do legs, I'm going to do banded lateral walks. I'll maybe do some wall sits. Those are very basic movements. But there's other movements that you can do, like a hamstring bridge or a box pogos, all right? So these things are going to prime your muscles for the day. Also, when you do the mobility and activation, it makes you build more muscle. Because if I go into a workout and the light is off, I'm not warm, I feel like I'm actually just going to kind of coast through the workout, I'm not going to have the muscles fired up. They're not going to be as activated or primed and ready to go. That muscle-mind connection will not be there. But if I warm up the muscle beforehand, then the muscles are primed and ready to go, and I'm going to build more muscle. I'm thinking about the muscle more. My body feels like it's ready to go, and it's already kind of fired up beforehand. So they're going to feel great. So you guys need to activate the muscles. These two are literally a non-negotiable. They are key to any program that you're doing. Either I've worked with 55-year-olds, I've worked with 13-year-olds, even myself, I'm 23. These things are so great for you. If you skip them, then you're going to feel it later on. So the third thing you want to do, and you want to do this while you're fresh, is strength movements, all right? The reason you want to do it fresh is that's when you'll lift the heaviest and you'll make the most gains. Why would you go play a basketball game after you just played a whole soccer game before, right? Makes no sense, right? Because you're lacking energy. But if you focus on putting all your energy into one thing, then you're going to grow the most in that aspect. All right, so for your strength movements, you can focus on compound lifts or primary strength movements. A compound is going to be like a deadlift or a barbell squat, a barbell bench press, pull-ups, RDLs, whatever the case may be, but they necessarily don't need to be those movements. They can be an incline press, they can be dips, whatever the case may be. You want to put your all when you are fresh, all right? So the rep range has to be goal specific. So for me right now, I always am going from anywhere from 8 to 4, depending on what I am training. But 4 to 6 reps is going to be your max strength. That's when you're just trying to move as much weight as possible. You want to make sure you're resting 3 minutes at the least after those movements, because you're going to kind of not be as fresh and not be able to put your all into every single movement afterwards. 6 to 8 reps is usually my sweet spot. I don't go anywhere over 8, but I just have different goals than everybody. All right. So that's when you'll have a little bit of a blend of strength and hypertrophy. And then 8 to 10 reps is going to be your muscle growth, which you'll have 2 minutes of rest for that. So all the rest periods are there for you guys. You can screenshot it, you can write it down, but make sure you guys are keeping the rest periods correlated to the reps that you are doing. And this is a key, all right? If you are trying to actually make real gains and you're actually trying to put on muscle, focusing on progressive overload is what's going to do that, all right? You have to add small increases in weights, reps, tempo, whatever the case may be. That's what's going to drive results. If you're just going through the motions, that's what you're going to get. If you go through the motions in life, in any single aspect, you are going to get that, all right? So you have to actually apply yourself, push till failure, push yourself intense, and you are going to reap the reward. Next is going to be the fourth thing, is that's going to be accessory work, all right? So here we're isolating one muscle group at a time, and we're controlling every single rep. We're adding tempos, or that's 3 seconds on the way up, 3 seconds on the way down. You can have iso holds, whatever the case may be. You are just focusing on maximizing a singular muscle at this time. All right. So this phase supports your main strength work, right? It's going to bring up the weak points, improving balance, and adding overall volume. So if I have weak glutes, I'm going to go ahead and squat, and then to put an extra emphasis on my glutes and fix whatever I need to fix, I'm going to go do some glute work. Whether I do some glute bridges, I'll do some Bulgarians with a glute focus. You need to actually focus on the small muscles that are lacking. So if you are a person that wants bigger bicep peaks, if you're a person that wants a bigger back, you're going to emphasize the smaller muscles in your back or the small muscles in your biceps to overall add more muscle there. All right. For this specifically, keep rest times shorter. All right. I would say 60 to 75 seconds is a sweet spot. But if you're a person that likes to just go and you want to burn some more fat, 45 seconds is great. But you want to maintain intensity and muscle tension the whole way through. If you're resting too long here, then you're not going to get the full reward out of it. All right. So examples are tricep pushdown, leg extension, bicep curls, a single leg dumbbell RDL is a great movement. There's other ones. You can even do push-ups. You can do a lot of things that are going to benefit you in the accessory work. It just depends on your specific goals. So last but not least is going to be core and cardio. All right. You can do one, you can do the other, or you can just do both, but you want to keep it intentional as you're doing these. I used to always skip this at the end of my workout, and it allowed me to stop being as persistent, because when I was tired, I would just allow myself to go home, but then my body started to show it. My eating habits got weaker, my workouts got more poor, and then I started being less intentful in the things that I did outside of just fitness. It allowed me just to always have an easy out. So I suggest everyone do this for the sake of you are actually training not only your body, but your mind as well. All right. So unless your goal is not muscle growth, then you can do as much cardio as you want, right? But it's going to affect how much muscle you put on. All right. So avoid overdoing cardio if your main goal is muscle. I would say the perfect spot is going to be 5 to 10 minutes of cardio. You can do max heart rate training. You can do a 10 to 20 minute incline walk, whatever the case may be. But the sweet spot for me is either a 10-minute incline walk or 5 to 10 minutes of just a circuit, all right? So, or you can do core, which is going to be whatever the case may be. There is really no sweet spot for core, but as long as you are doing something that is intentful and pushing your body to a failure, you're going to reap the reward. So these are all key training principles to the programs that I write, all right? So you want to always take your last 1 to 2 sets till failure for maximum growth. If you do it in the beginning, your body's going to kind of burn out sooner than you'd actually like to, and you're not going to get the most out of the rest of the workout you have the rest of the hour, whatever the case may be. So take your last 1 to 2 sets of every exercise you have till failure. So if you do a barbell bench press, the last set till failure. If you move on and do a pec fly, last set till failure. It's super simple, and you will grow like that, right? I used to not even count my reps. I would literally do last 1 to 2 sets till failure, and my body would literally grow so much. The second thing is going to be control the weight. All right. If you're not controlling the weight, then the weight is controlling you. I tell this to all my clients, but this is such a simple yet powerful tool, is that if you are controlling the weight, it's going to be much harder to get hurt. All right. If you're just putting on a bunch of weight and you're allowing your shoulders to not have the correct form on a bench press, or you're allowing your lower back to start rounding on a deadlift, then the weight is controlling you, and simply you are going to get hurt. But when you control the weight, it's less likely that you'll get hurt. All right, it goes with the same thing. Your movement quality is way more important than the actual weight that you put on. So you have to focus on quality over quantity, and over time you'll grow and be able to put on the weight that you always wanted to put on at that moment. All right, and then any split works as long as it fits your schedule and lifestyle. For me, I've transitioned to so many things. I've tried everything. Right now, I'll do push-pull legs, total body, and mix in some cardio twice a week. Maybe play basketball, but I'm always moving my body. Right. So last month, my last block was total body 3 times a week, and then I would do cardio twice a week. Right. It just depends on what your schedule is, what your lifestyle is. One size does not fit all, so try to make something that works for you. So if you're an individual that finds it hard to get into the gym, then do total body 4 times a week. Right. If you're able to get to the gym all the time, do push-pull legs, upper lower, push-pull legs, whatever the case may be. Just find what works for you. It's not like rocket science. You just have to find what works best for you, and it will literally equate to whatever goal you want to have. The recovery principles, this is very important. A lot of people do not talk about the recovery, but you have to sleep 7 to 9 hours per night. All right. If you are sleeping any less than 6, GG. You're not going to get the maximized muscle growth. You're not going to get to where you want to be. Will you grow muscle? Yes, right? But you're going to lack the energy. You're going to lack the clarity that your brain needs to do a workout as well as just work day to day. Second thing is going to be hydration, all right? You got to drink a gallon a day, 128 fluid ounces. It's going to give your body the proper energy. It's going to give your mind the clarity and energy that it needs to just fuel through the whole day. Your body's metabolism is going to be better. So when you drink water, overall, it is so much better, And the biggest thing I'll tell any single person, you have to enjoy the process. When you are so focused on the outcome of things, it's like if there was a string, it's like the outcome keeps pulling away and away and away from you, and you're just trying to trail after it. Because you're so focused on the outcome as you forget how to do the process. You forget how to actually work out properly, how to progressively overload, how to do the movements right. And a lot of the time when you're so focused on just losing fat and you don't see it in the mirror, you're going to give up. But if you enjoy the process and fall in love with things, it is so much harder to fail. All right. So I hope anyone that watched this video, you got something out of it. Apply these things. It's so damn simple. Just mobilize your muscles, activate the muscles, pick up some damn weight and just move it around. You can have, with obviously good quality of movements, but strength training, accessories, all these things will flow you right where you need to be for any goal that you have. If you're trying to be a damn athlete in the NFL, you can do these things. If you want to be a basketball player, right? If you just want to be a 55-year-old mom that is just healthier for her kids, then you can do these things. But at the end of the day, apply it and it will work out for you.